Rob McKnight in. You can check him out on tvblackbox.com.au where you can hear the latest podcast. This guy's a TV veteran.
Yeah, he knows all the tricks of the trade.
EP'd a million shows, a lot of success under his belt. Then he branched off to do his own thing. Rob, good morning.
Hey,
Good
Rob,
morning, guys.
how are
Good to see you.
I'm so thrilled to be here. And before you ask me a question, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
I heard you earlier this morning talking about your big power meeting with Beverly McGarvey and Paul Anderson,
That's
the
right.
chiefs of Channel 10.
That's
Yes.
right.
So is there a new show coming up with you guys?
Well,
No,
this-
they just said, we wanted to catch up, and it was just a
No.
lunch. What
yeah,
does
but
that
I
mean?
heard Carl talking about a variety show. Now,
That's
I know
right, yeah.
I know you and Rove aren't the best of friends, Carl.
Rove got cancelled. I did feel for him for about a second. And then
Hey,
I
come
thought,
on. We've all been sacked in this industry, so,
Yeah,
you know.
that's right.
Yes.
But I would love to see you guys do a Saturday night show because the problem with Rove being sacked is everyone's going to think no one wants variety in this country.
But that's not true.
Not true at all. And I think you guys doing a variety show with all your contacts and
Yes.
your humour, and I know you were worried about the swearing and everything
Yeah.
like that, but
Don't
if you're
worry
on a
about
later
it.
time slot, no one's going to care.
That's what I said.
I say bring Carl and Jackie O to TV.
That's same
thanks,
here.
Rob.
And I think, even though halfway through the meeting, Beverly said in her beautiful accent, "Oh, we don't have any sort of agenda here to bring you to lunch." And I said,
Carl was spewing.
And I said, "Excuse me."
Is she South African, Carl?
I don't know what she is, but something like that.
He's terrible with
I
accents.
I said to her,
Sorry,
"Excuse me, then what the hell am I doing here? If there's no agenda." And then we started talking about Jackie and I doing TV, and she's like, "Why aren't we doing TV together?" And I said, "Well, the last time we did TV together was Big Brother, and I think I was hard on the coke back then. That might have turned people off."
At least you're honest.
Yeah, is that why your eye was going weird all the time?
the eye, the weird
Oh
eye.
my
Remember
God,
that? Yeah,
yes.
high as a kite.
Oh, behind the scenes, Rob, we were like, "What? How do we fix the eye?"
yeah, my one
It
eye
just-
was
Really?
blinking
One
constantly.
eye just kept twitching the whole time.
And was that seriously because of the drugs?
Yeah.
Was it?
Huh.
And tiredness and just
Yeah.
being a mental case.
Wow.
Well, we've all been there.
Yeah, we've all been mental. Jackie undiagnosed, but fully we all know.
mental. So, Rob, give us some insight, first of all, about TV shows and acquiring TV shows like, let's say, Survivor, getting the rights to certain shows. Is
God,
that,
you've asked the boringest question.
I want to know how much money that costs to actually
Oh, right,
buy a
right.
TV show.
Do you know what's more fascinating is how much the contestants get for taking part. So there's all the
yes.
negotiations for buying rights and,
Yep.
and getting the rights. And sometimes there's bidding wars between the networks. But Survivor has been on every commercial channel in this country. So it's been on 9, which was a complete disaster, 7, and now 10 are the
Right.
only ones who've actually made it work.
Right, and
But
why
good
do you
host,
think that
good
is?
host, I
think a
think.
good
Good
host. 'Cause
host.
who was the host for the other one? Was that Dicko?
Oh, gosh, I think you're right.
I think it was Dicko.
Dicko
Yeah.
can't survive.
It
Like
was
that.
a
Who are we
complete.
kidding?
It was a complete. No, dear. It was
He
a
would have been in a. He would have been. Survivor would have happened on Hamilton Island if Dicko was hosting.
I think it almost did. I felt like
It was actually only down in South Australia,
Oh, was
and the
it?
first challenge that they did for the Channel 9 version actually couldn't be completed. They actually went, well, the wind's putting this challenge, we can't finish the challenge, so we'll have to call it a night. And you're like, that's not Survivor. But they put out, TV Black Box broke the story earlier this year on how much they were offering the celebrities part of the contenders versus
Right.
challengers.
Oh, do
How
tell.
much? What are we talking?
And so they were offering everyone $25,000
Is
for
that it?
it's about 2 months' work, but that's a starting point. When they're sending out the information to all the managers,
Yeah.
they'll say, okay, it's a 2-month shoot. We'll give you $25,000 to cover your expenses, and then it's up to the agents to go and negotiate. So that's your low ball.
Right.
So that, we know Shane Warne got $2 million for I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. The average wage for that is anywhere between $70,000 and $150,000 for your
Right.
time on I'm a Celebrity.
Oh.
What will usually happen is you'll get paid for the first 2 weeks a guaranteed sum, like just
Yep.
say it might be $70,000,
Right.
and then you'll get a daily rate, maybe $1,500 or $2,000 for every day that you last after that.
Oh,
You know, they
okay.
offered me and the girlfriend together to go on their
course
1.2
they-
million.
Really?
I said no.
Why not? I'd love to see that.
I don't do third world countries, and I like eating.
Yes.
This
And
is the
I know
problem
what
with
she's
these
like,
shows.
hangry, and that's not a good situation.
Yeah,
But
they-
see, that would be fantastic television
It
to
would
see you
be.
hangry.
Yeah.
No, not me. Her.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that would have been entertainment right
Oh,
there.
Too much.
Yeah.
Do it as a community service, Carl, for your fans.
No, I could've.
So, Rob,
I
on
could've.
Survivor, what do you reckon's the most someone's getting paid?
Oh, look, That's really hard to say
To know,
because I know
yeah.
where they started out, but it could go up to 100,000. It's
Yeah.
2 months' work, and if they really want someone, I would say the average would probably be about 50 to 70.
But it's less about the celebrity on Survivor, isn't it? It's more just about the people and if they're playing the game well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Once you get them there. But, Stephen Bradbury was a big get for them and created a lot of headlines. The contestants, you've got the champions who are getting those fees.
Yeah.
But the
Contenders.
the contenders
Yeah.
wouldn't be getting those
Oh, no,
fees.
they'd just be happy to be there.
They'd probably be getting like $5,000
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
If they're lucky.
Yeah.
The people who go on The Bachelor aren't getting any money. They might get some per diems each day or something like that.
That's it.
That's why they're all trying to chase their 15 minutes of fame afterwards.
Right. And what's this about when you're changing topics now? I've heard that there is some things that happen when you interview a person you don't really want to interview them. You're not actually recording. But what's the story with that?
Yeah, so there's a secret code that when news crews are out there, and you can imagine a news crew is out there and people go, I can be on TV. And
Yep.
sometimes they're just being such a pain in the bum
Yeah.
that the reporter will go, okay, we'll do an interview. And he'll turn to the camera and say, use the red filter on this one. And so that's
means
code.
don't film.
Then don't actually even bother hitting record.
Oh, so if you ever hit up for a vox pop out on the street and they go the red filter, you know what's
it's
going on.
nothing.
Yeah. And
Is there other things behind the scenes, like secret things like that we don't know about? Like, 'cause
Oh.
mistakes happen in live TV all the time.
Well, we saw that on Studio 10 last week where two F-bombs were dropped in 20 seconds.
oh, that's
you
right.
know.
That
Oh,
girl,
yeah.
the new lesbian girl with the black girl.
That's right.
the
came out and
Bachelor
dropped the
contestant.
C-bomb.
Now, do you guys, you don't have a censor for that?
No, so it's not like radio, and I met your lovely censor
Yes,
person
she's
out
lovely.
there just a few
Very
minutes ago.
overworked.
Yeah.
She said that. She said you're entertaining, though.
Yeah.
But no, in television we don't have a censor. And I was asked about why is that, and it actually stumped me a little bit because once upon a time the technology wasn't there
Yeah.
to be able to do that. But as
Right.
you guys know, with Big Brother, they were using it for that.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit different. It's just traditionally we haven't had it in television, and it would also mean putting another person on. And the thing is, you guys deal with a lot of callers.
Yes.
So that's your random part where you don't have control.
Sure.
Usually with morning shows, it's book talent and, it's
Yeah.
people coming in. So there's a lot more control over what happens.
What
Yeah.
about the Denise and the Denise Drysdale and the Ida Buttrose, the vegetable drama?
Brussels
that
sprouts
happened? Were
game.
you around then?
I was the
Oh, you were.
I was the executive producer
Oh,
until I got
no.
sacked just after that, Carl.
Oh, why?
So what happened there, Rob?
Oh, look, there's probably only so much I can talk about, but I know your team, Denise, Kyle.
Yeah. No, I like Denise, but I don't know her.
Yeah, let me tell you that I reckon you guys value loyalty. And
Right.
there is no one more loyal than Ida Buttrose.
Is that right?
Yeah, and
Right.
I heard you guys talking about it when it all went down.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to call up and say, no, Carl, not Team Denise, Team Ita.
Oh,
I am
really?
Team Ita all the way. Yeah,
Oh,
look,
wow.
there were a few drinks consumed. We were doing a Christmas video shoot. So we were doing those every couple of years. And we were shooting and a few drinks were consumed along the day by a certain someone.
Right.
And
No guesses who that is.
Yeah.
let's just say that at one point, Denise decided to start throwing Brussels sprouts at Ita, and it wasn't.
And that
it
didn't go
wasn't-
down
it
well?
didn't
Didn't
go
go
down
down
well.
Ida doesn't strike me as the type to get involved in a food fight.
No,
But
no.
were the Brussels sprouts cooked or not cooked?
They were cooked and they were buttered.
Oh, no.
So it
Oh,
wasn't just
staining.
staining.
Okay, so that's where it crosses the line.
yes,
yes,
absolutely,
I
and it
agree.
wasn't just one.
Right. Oh,
Okay,
right.
and
Many.
was Ita? What was her reaction? Stop!
No,
Was she
no,
doing that?
Ita just sat there and wasn't impressed at all, and didn't make a big deal of it. Just tried to get on with the shoot. You know,
Right.
like
Oh,
I swear, I
professional.
have such respect for that woman, and she has been one of the biggest supporters I've had when I had all my issues
Yeah.
with Channel 10. Although
Right.
we're all friends now,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you know,
good.
like we like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to have a bit of a fight with someone
Yep.
to be friends with them,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
And I swear, like Team Ita all the way for me.
Oh,
Wow. Well, that's why she's now the head of the ABC. isn't
That's
she?
right.
The
On my
chair.
recommendation, Carl.
Yeah. Is that right? I
No,
love
not
that.
really.
No, I love that.
And
I
Rob,
love that. You took
you worked
advantage of that.
on you worked on Today Tonight as well.
Yes.
Now that's a show known for, let's say, producing up some dodgy kind of stories.
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree with that? And what kind of lengths did you go to get a story?
Well, I was about to say, I don't know about dodgy stories, but I used to make the promos for it.
Oh, yeah.
And so every day I would go into the executive producer's office and we'd go, okay, what are our stories? What can we promote? And there would be quite a few times where they had nothing nothing. You're talking about a 5-day-a-week show,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
you know,
every
like
night.
the constant churn, as you know, you're trying to find something to promote. So quite often we would sit in there and go, okay, you've got nothing. What could we write a promo about?
Yep.
And so we would sit there spitballing ideas on what kind of topics we could do. End up writing the promo
Yeah.
Without a story.
without a story.
And then
And then I'd walk out and say to the chief of staff, you need to go and shoot this story.
find
Make a
it.
story.
And what kind of story would that be
Oh,
that they'd
it
be
might
looking
be.
for?
It might be one we decided to do another Kickstart diet story, the brand new,
Right, yeah.
brand new
Oh, yeah,
version of the
yeah.
Kickstart 2.0, or
Yeah.
you know, like it might be some consumer story or something like that. Like it was always something we knew we could back up.
Okay, yeah.
But we, you know, like with a little bit more terminology to make it seem fresh and
Because
new.
the promo's what you need to get them in.
They sell the shows every day.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
really important.
I heard
Yeah.
that Channel 7 might be bringing back Today Tonight.
Well, this is a rumour been going around for quite some time with Craig McPherson going back to Channel 7 because he was the executive producer of Today Tonight.
Okay.
So it's still on in Perth and Adelaide.
Yeah.
And there are now questions whether it would come back to the East Coast. And I think there's been a push for it for some time. The rumour has been Sunday night won't last next year.
Is that right?
Yeah, because it hasn't been rating very well at all.
And give that the arse.
yeah,
Oh.
that's the rumour.
Yeah.
No, can't confirm
Yeah,
anything,
yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
but that's
Yeah.
what you hear.
That's-
That's where there's smoke, there's
You know,
fire.
it's like you hearing about what's going on The Bachelor. You can't 100%
that's right,
confirm
no,
it.
But we can wish.
But the rumour is that because that's a very big budget. Those Sunday night shows have huge budgets.
Right.
And so they would take some of the budget for that to bring back Today Tonight and keep the
Okay.
rest for the network.
I understand.
And what's the bad stuff about TV? Working in TV, have you seen some
Is there a
things that
downside?
disappointed
Yeah,
you?
like where you think, oh.
Yeah, you know, I think the backstabbing is a huge thing. And people you think are your friends aren't your friends. And
Yes, I've noticed that.
yeah, you know, and I think television can be a great adrenaline rush. It was fantastic sitting out here watching your guys, who are brilliant, by
They're
the
a
way.
great team, yeah.
You know, like the way you hear them dealing with phone calls and what's coming up next. And it's just like television in a way in the control room.
Right,
You know,
yeah,
like it's
exactly.
that same
You
kind
get
of
that same
vibe.
buzz, yeah.
I don't drink coffee and I'm on a high
Yeah.
just watching it all this morning, you know? Like, so imagine me on coffee.
Oh, wow.
Well, if we ever get that show that I know Channel 10 are going to offer us to fill this slot that Rove left vacant, even though I'd rather it on a Friday night. I just feel that.
He's getting ahead of himself, Rob.
I'm just saying, if they
Well,
ring up and say.
I think a Friday, Saturday, or even a Tuesday night used to be a traditional variety show.
Yeah, but we've
night.
got to get up
I
early.
know,
Oh,
I
we're
know.
not getting
So
up
you know,
early.
like, so
Too
let's go
hard.
for a Friday or Saturday, sure. And
Yeah.
I think you guys would be brilliant. And
Yeah,
I,
we definitely would be brilliant.
the key is get the show right before you go to air.
That's
Rove's
right.
show wasn't right. It was a
No.
complete mess. And
Is that
you know,
because he was under time constraints, or do you feel like he thought that was the right show?
I don't think so. I think Pilot Week was a year ago.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you've
So
had
there's
a year
been
to
an-
build it
yeah.
up. And I actually thought the pilot was better than what they served up as the actual
Right.
show,
Right.
which could mean people were meddling and, you
what
know.
was
like-
wrong with it? Where did it go wrong?
I think one of the things is it didn't know what it was.
Right.
So it was in a 7:30 family-friendly time slot,
Yeah.
but the jokes were very adult.
Right,
So
yeah.
if you guys were to do it, I would suggest an 8:30 time slot so
Oh,
that you
yeah.
guys can be yourself. And
Yeah.
now, they didn't break any classification laws, but it just didn't feel like the right
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And
It's
the
too
skits-
early. You're right.
Yeah,
Too early.
and the skits just went on and on.
I
and-
hate skits.
Yes.
Finish with
Yeah,
skits.
100%, right? Because they're so hit and miss.
Yeah,
you
they're
know?
no
Yeah.
good.
And so it just didn't have a flow about it. And
Yeah.
so that's what you've got to work out. You've got to work out what the show is, who are we trying to get here, and what are the elements we can put in place.
Rob, I've often said about Jackie, she did laser and she only did half the laser, right? So I'm thinking in my mind, one side hairy, one
No,
side
that's
not hairy.
the case, Rob.
On television, we could show and we could reveal like what's
no,
actually going
I'm not
on.
being a part of your show if I'm to get it out.
This is our show.
I
not
feel like
mine.
I'm coming in halfway through a story here because where did you get laser, Jackie?
downstairs.
Oh,
Oh, do you mean
On the
what
vagina.
clinic or where in my body?
I think we're on your body because he's saying you only did half. I'm thinking, does he mean
Why
the
would-
legs? Does
yeah.
he mean downstairs?
No, I mean there's one curtain that's got.
It's not But Rob, don't listen to him. I just said I haven't completed the course yet. I'm only halfway through.
So that's
The course, as in you're doing it yourself, or
You know, you go and get it done,
Oh, right.
and there's a certain amount that you have to do.
just sounds patchy.
this is all new to me. Sorry.
On TV, we'd be able to show that right at 8:30.
Fantastic, great.
At
Well,
8:30.
When can you show nudity on TV? Is it 9?
Nudity like that is usually an MA rated, which I think is about 9:30. There are limits to how much you can show.
This
down
is an
there.
idea I
Look,
wanna-
I tell you what, we'll research it.
I've got an
Yeah.
idea I want to put on there, right? Where a
Uh-huh.
husband comes in with his wife,
Mm.
and then we have these 7 holes. Now, the woman goes behind one of the holes. There's women behind every hole. You see only vagina through the hole.
Yeah.
And the man has to pick his own wife's vagina out of all the different vaginas that are lined up.
It sounds like a great concept for a porn site.
Yeah.
No. Don't you think that'd be fun? We've done it on the radio before, remember?
Yeah, but TV is very
Yeah,
visual,
yeah.
and that could be.
And Kyle's thinking, is there a problem with that?
Yeah, are you allowed to show a little bit of flange on there?
Yeah, you are. You are. So it
7
comes
of
down
them?
to the. Look, I don't know. A
No,
censor.
sorry,
would
we'd probably have to have 10 for Channel 10.
we'd have to workshop it, Carl.
Yeah, and there'd be black ones and white ones with different sizes,
Sure.
and then the man would have to pick his own
Presumably,
wife.
he would be able to pick between different races. If
Yeah.
it's what he's
Yeah, but that's the funny bit. When we move along and you go, what about this one? He's like, well, no, that's definitely not my one. Don't you think that'd be funny?
It'd be hilarious. But
Better than
there
just
was a
throwing
show.
footballs through holes.
There
That's
was a
no good.
show, and I think it was in the UK, where contestants actually had sex inside a
They
box.
did. They did.
Yeah.
Hey.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
right.
you didn't actually see them having sex, but they
No.
went in and had sex.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that was very progressive.
It
for the
was,
Brits.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
What's the point? We'd all just watched a box and knowing people were having sex in the box.
Yeah, well,
I can't remember
it was
how
like
it
a
actually-
curtain or something,
Yeah.
wasn't it, Jackie?
Yeah.
But Big Brother showed nudity. Sorry,
Yeah,
just
that's
to
right.
think
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Remember
yeah.
the Up Late, which I
That's
used to
right.
love the Up Late because
too.
it wasn't just about the nudity. It was also about the conversations that they had that you couldn't play at 7:30.
Yeah.
That's right. All the
Or
crazy
7 o'clock.
chats.
Yeah, I used to love that.
Oh, let's workshop this idea so we're ready when Channel 10 ring up. We're ready.
Got the perfect show.
Yeah.
Rob, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure,
What a
guys.
legend.
Fascinating.
TVBlackbox.com.au if you want to get there updated on all the TV stuff on the TV, behind the scenes. You do the whole deal on that, right?
All of it. We
All
break
of it.
exclusives. We even break radio exclusives sometimes,
Wow.
just
Oh,
for the
Yeah.
fun of it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that.
Be kind to us.
Oh, I love you guys. Don't you worry. And
Thank
and
you.
Carl, you're right. Sorry, just to go back, I heard Jackie saying, "No, there's no coke at TV parties."
There
Are you
is.
serious?
That I've seen.
Oh,
I'm just
Jackie, I
not in
don't
the-
believe that for one moment.
It's so true, Rob. I think I've just got this radar on me that says I don't do drugs and people stay away from
No.
me.
Well,
No,
yeah,
no.
I get that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because I don't ever get asked.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't usually either.
Yeah, you don't seem like the sort of person that's sniffing around for the
No,
gear.
no, I know. Yeah.
Or they think, don't invite her, she's probably a Hoover.
She's the hog. You're gonna
One or the
steal all
other.
our
One or
stuff.
the other, you're not getting invited.